Good evening, televiewers. Welcome to Prime on My Media Prime. This evening, we are looking at what took place across the world yesterday, called Valentine's Day. What is it all about? Actually, when we celebrate it, is it helping to promote love amongst couples and those in love, or it rather brings discord and moving most of us into sin? We're going to be looking at what Valentine's Day is all about and how it ought to be celebrated, and also asking the question whether it should be celebrated, should love only be celebrated on the 14th of February. We're discussing this with experts who are in the house, our regular panelists, all of them. We have a full house this evening. We have our permanent consultant, Apostle Ambe, Valentine, who is in the house with us. Good evening and welcome.
Good evening, Mr. Leo. Good evening, Cameroonians. Welcome to Prime Hour today. Relationship matters we are here to discuss. Valentine's Day is the subject matter. Stay tuned to your screen as we bring you very, very, very important information. God bless you.
Okay. We also are in the company of Apostle Alfred Esingei. He is an expert in the domain of love. I'm sure he has lived it and he knows what it takes to live and express love. Good evening, Apostle.
Good evening, Mr. Leo, and good evening, my fellow panelists. I'm happy again to be here this evening to share the wealth of knowledge that God has given us. I just pray you stay tuned to your television for these 2 hours to get the best from us.
The Love Doctor, we're celebrating Love, the Love Doctor, all the way from Boya, Southwest Regional Capital. He's here with us. They call him Apostle Lefor. We are glad to have you, Apostle.
Thank you so much, Mr. Leo. I want to say greetings to able panelists, and also I want to celebrate everyone out there in the world. It has been an awesome time. Last week it was great. We believe it will be greater. And so just stay tuned and have a blast. Learn and gain wisdom that I believe that will affect your relationship, your marriages, and even your future relationships in case you are not having one yet.
Okay. We are also in the company of Reverend, yes, the Reverend is there. He's not an apostle. Yes, he's alone. Reverend Tatoh is here with us. Good evening and welcome.
Good evening, Mr. Leo. Good evening to our co-panelists. It is such a privilege to be on again this evening to talk about these relationship issues that are so capital to our society. I believe we're going to have a sweat time this evening.
Mrs. Asanji Yvette is going to be participating on this edition of the program from Bamenda. Last week I called her Apostle. Maybe it was a slip of a tongue. But what says, Apostle, women don't become apostle also?
Why not? Apostolic ministry is not it has nothing to do with gender. It has to do with calling.
So maybe it was prophetic now.
Yes, probably you see, your destiny is not a coincidence. It could possibly be a slip of the tongue. You call her apostle. Probably sometimes something the spirit that is trying to manifest. So let's watch and see how events unfold.
Mrs. Asanji Yvette, also special greetings to her husband, Mr. Asanji, who must be watching us from Bamenda. We are really very grateful and appreciative of the fact that you have permitted Mrs. Asanji to be part of us. She's very active in our forum. We call her the principal. She's our principal in the forum and the discipline mistress. Yes, Reverend Tatoh, Mr. Asanji is our discipline mistress and the principal.
And she accumulates as the senior prefect. So I'll be put together.
Okay. Yes. Actually, we hold her very dear to the panel. That we are celebrating every 14th of February.
14th of February is, how do I put it? You know, in the Roman Empire, most of what happened within that period was extended to become world events during the Roman Empire. Is this priest that was locked up in prison, and there was this lady that came once to visit this priest. The priest was called Valentine. This lady always come there to visit the priest, come there to visit the priest. So one day she came to visit this priest in order to express her love. She was deeply in love with the priest, only to find out that the priest had died. So she said, the love of her life,
Valentine
died that day. I don't know why they're celebrating something that died. So it became a public holiday in the Roman Empire. You know, it's very simple things like Christmas 25th is not actually a Christian organized stuff. Yeah, it is in the days of the Roman Empire equally. Let's not get into that. So that has become a world event now, that almost everywhere 14 February is recognized as Lovers Day. Lovers Day, Lovers Day, Lovers Day. And it has now become, even though it is not officially a public holiday in some countries, but there is this awareness that on the 14th of February, love should be shared. Actually, the love shared in this thing is not just the agape love. The love shared is the emotional love, or how do they call it?
Sensual,
erotic love.
Erotic love.
Yeah, that's the love. That's actually the love between two partners, opposite sex. That's the kind of love about 14 February. So it's not something that you are doing for, when a man begins to give Valentine gift to a man, it is now homosexuality. And a woman begins to give Valentine gift to a woman, it's now lesbianism. The real Valentine is love between two opposite sex, husband and wife, fiancé, and the partner. That's the concept, and that's the picture of what is known as Valentine's Day. And we have embraced it in Africa. Other parts of the world have not embraced it. Europe has embraced it. America has embraced it, but I don't think it's embraced in Asia and other continents like the way it is done here in Africa. And you know, in everything that comes up, people will either use it or misuse it. Yes, the Valentine's Day we are talking here, celebration, a factor promoting love, discord, or sin. And you realize that as much as this thing was designed for love, programmed for love, a time to share love, a time to interact, intermeddle with your partner, some people have also abused it. It's been a time where people commit the highest sin. It's been a time where people commit the highest atrocities. Just like Christmas was designed to celebrate the birth of Jesus. But I see people celebrating Jesus' birth in nightclubs, when Jesus himself could never go to a nightclub.
That's those who don't believe in Jesus celebrate the day more than
even
the Christians.
Yes, that's the challenge. So the Valentine's Day stuff came, it's not a bad idea. It's a good idea. A day should be remembered on earth for people to express love for one another. A time where people can interact, go out, enjoy themselves. It's good. But you see, it has not become a kind of problem whereby people start programming their minds that before that day will reach, you must get this gift for me, you must get this gift. So much so that when the day reaches and the husband doesn't have something for the wife, it becomes a problem.
A debt, yeah.
Yes, a fiancé doesn't have something for the partner, it becomes a problem. It's not supposed to be like that. That love should not be expressed by somebody buying gift obligatorily for the partner. It could be a day where you can just stroll out, talk about yourselves, and interact with each other, encourage each other, appreciate each other for the time spent together. But now it has become a serious problem. It's also a time where some women also find their Valentine outside of their homes. Adultery is promoted. It's a time where fiancés offer their body to the other and say, this is my Valentine's gift. We have been in this relationship for 2 years, I've never tasted the thing. At least to show me how much you love me in this Valentine, you have to at least give me this thing, let me taste it. So you see, Alfred will explain us more about that. You know, that's his area. You know, everybody has a specialty in this thing we are doing.
Finish what you started. Finish what you started.
He will inspire us more in that area. So what was meant for good, people have turned it for evil. They are misusing it. They are taking it. You see, a young girl who doesn't even know anything, a man will use that situation and say, this is Valentine's Day. It's a day where people sacrifice to each other. If you cannot give me sex this day, it means that you do not love me. And vulnerable, weak ladies also will just submit themselves. I mean, what you cannot give on the 12th of February should not be given on the 14th of February. It's February. It's February. It's not some other day or other year. So we always tell people that Valentine's Day is good. Love is good. It's good to express love. It's good to share love. It's good to talk about yourself, encourage each other, but it should not be misused for other negative purposes as people use it this day. I saw a boy crying. I don't know whether that video is true on social media. How he invested everything and the lover too flat to go and give somebody else on Valentine's Day. And he said he will kill himself. So love is something very, very delicate.
Okay, Apostle Alfred the singer, you are reading of actually wanted him to tell us what the day is all about. He's taking us back to the priest who fell in love with the lady who came back to prison and discovered that the love was no longer there. Yes, there are lots of stories
Attached to that.
attached to that. Yeah, but when you look at, I want you to tell us what this day is from the layman perspective, Cameroonian perspective. How do you see the day? How can you explain the reason for a celebration of this day?
Actually, this particular day is not really being celebrated in Cameroon as in Nigeria.
Okay.
The people that are really propagating this day so much is Nigeria. In Nigeria, they follow everything to the list. All the comedians do kits on that Valentine's Day. They publicize it and make it to be very broad. In Cameroon here, highest you will see what people will do is that they'll buy boxers and singlets and begin to divide it and give it. I was surprised that I was passing through Marché Double Bar, and I saw young girls in the evening around 8:30. They were there struggling to get boxers and singlets. Then I was like, what is really happening? And there is even a girl that did a kit also on that and was trying to talk to us that some people are angry because women will buy only boxers and singlets. He said, why would they not buy only boxers and singlets? It's because they have discovered that it's the need of a boy. Yes, because boys normally they don't want to wash their innerwears and they don't want to do all those kind of things. So they once in a year they buy you 1 or 2 boxers that you're going to use for the whole of that year, because it is possible for boys to wear boxers every day. They wear it every day for about 2 weeks, and you see them showing the boxer behind and that kind of a thing. So the girls also realize that these boys like boxers, and that's why they do these things and they give them. So that is the way that a common man in Cameroon have interpreted this thing. A day where we buy some small gifts, 1 small flower for 100 francs in a shop. That is what is being interpreted for love. But I, for one, I say that love is every day. Love is every day. I celebrate love every day because the more I meet people I love, the more I meet people I treasure. I express this kind of love. I don't find it difficult to give people gifts even during ordinary days. I don't find it difficult to give my children a gift. I don't find it difficult to give my wife a gift even during ordinary days. So it's like what I talked about Christmas the other time, that it is not only during the December period of Christmas that you begin to plan to buy gifts for your family. Buy it all through the year. If you don't buy it during December, they'll understand. And that's exactly what happened. If you've been giving gifts, wonderful gifts and love gifts, there's no problem if you don't give it on the day of 14th. There's no problem at all. But unfortunately, people have already program it in their heart, especially in Cameroon. In some villages, they want to talk about love. Come and see people strolling around people's backyards, trying to call the people that are giving love. So you're even giving love gift to someone that do not even know that you're existing. That is what the unfortunate thing about it. You're just giving, you just go to a girl, they say, I'm marrying you all this while. I decided to buy something to give you, a flower to give you. And some of them accept it and some of them would deny it, and you see a lot of fiasco. But one thing is particular about all celebrations. One thing is marked by evil: drinking, fornicating, violence, and so on. All celebration periods, it's marked by that. It's rather unfortunate that also even Easter, when they talk about the death of Christ, people are celebrating Easter in bars and in certain places. So that is exactly how this particular Valentine's Day is looking like now. People celebrate it in bars, in nightclubs. That day you have to disobey your parents and sleep out of the house. That day you have to come late in the night. That day you have to leave your husband and go to another man's house, and then so on and so forth and so on and so forth. I don't think that day should be characterized by that, because if it's a day of love, love has so many significance. Love is patience. Love is kind. Love is sacrificial. Love takes care of so many other things. So it's not just a day. Love should not be expressed only in a day. Exactly what is happening in Cameroon, exactly what is happening in Nigeria. You see, Apostle Ambe just talked about this boy that's about to kill himself because the girl in the house. What came over that girl, I don't understand. To take a flower and go and give to another guy, but the one that is taking care of you, you don't give flower to the boy. Well, like I said, as I always say, that some of these boys, they deserve what they get, because you know that a girl has expressed to you several times that she doesn't love you, you're only forcing yourself. Come and see how they force. They say girls, they like initial gragra. And when you talk about the initial gragra, is that they are telling you that she will first refuse for the beginning. And if you insist, she will accept, and so on and so forth. And when they go now and begin to give you high blood and high tea, you say that these women are bad. They are not bad. They told you, they expressed it from the beginning, and you only insisted. So now she said, okay, let me begin to benefit from the gifts and from the love, from the thing that you want to offer. But the truth is that my heart is not with you, it's with someone else. And do you know that even if these girls tell the young boys that my heart is not with you, it's with someone else, the boy will say, no, I don't mind. Don't love me. Let me do the love alone. That's what they will tell you. Let me do the love alone. Don't worry about it. And when the girl continues and is doing her things, these boys will come up and they'll go on television and putting the innocent girl's face on television. And they did not show us the part where the girl was refusing, that he doesn't want that boy. And the boy is only insisting. He loved the girl, and so on and so forth. So we are seeing a lot of things, Mr. Leo, especially in this Cameroon. Okay. We are seeing a lot of things that are happening, especially during this period.
Those of you watching us, you can share your experiences with us. We're going to read them out and also permit our panelists to discuss on what you think and what you've experienced. Apostle Lefor, Divine, we're talking about celebrating Valentine's Day from the Christian perspective. What do you think? What have you noticed? You have Christians now.
Yeah.
Do they celebrate Valentine's Day?
Okay, well, I'll tell you what I think, and I'll tell you how I approach it from my own. I'm talking about within my own.
What you see, but
yes.
what have you observed?
What see? That's what I say. I will start with what I observe.
Okay.
Yes, in general, Christendom. Yes, and first of all, in all the things that have been said, you would discover from the story, though the stories have slight variations about the priest and the lady, but you would discover that it's priest. So you would discover that this thing kind of started with a Christian. Yes, I think it kind of started with a Christian. So I know there's also another part of this story which says that this man was not just about the love that he had with a lady when he died, but this priest, from some stories I also read, was also used to hiding and blessing marriages. He was somebody who was advocating
for young soldiers.
Yes,
who were supposed to go for war.
Good, yes, which they were refusing to bless, because at that point in time they were saying that marriage was a distraction. But this man was hiding behind and blessing marriages. So you see that this, I think, is also what gave the Valentine that strength regarding relationships and marriage. Though at the end of the day, it also came at a personal level with this lady, because we finally suppose asked that why did he finally, after all, he never married a woman and all of that. He's a priest, for God's sake, and we don't know. They could have had a love, but maybe his vocation did not allow him to do that. But anyway, I think there's a root of Christianity in this, and I always say our challenge is that we always let the world take over things we can take over for good. If you remember, Paul says something that there is no special day. We make days special, and if this thing comes, just like how you see, we were mentioning about Christmas and other days. So I think many churches, in my own observation, avoid the day. I've seen a lot of people say we don't celebrate Valentine's Day. It is a satanic day and all of this, and some people tell me they don't celebrate it because of the things that happen on that day. But I have an issue with that, because even our very Christmas, that was we're celebrating the birth of Jesus, which at least more than 70% of Christian denominations to an extent celebrate. Worse things happen. You will see, in fact, nightclubs are usually full. In fact, beer companies usually prepare and stock enough beer, but for those periods, for alcohol and the clubbing and activities. You get it. So I think advocating and saying that we should not celebrate Valentine's Day because of what happens on that day is instead giving room for many other things, because I always go, there's no vacuum. And I think when something has been, the Bible says when we agree on earth is agreed in heaven. We can choose a day. Like some of the people are already celebrating the birth of Jesus on the 25th of December. I don't see any reason why we cannot just join and make it grand. Just like how even maybe, I don't know, Mr. I don't know if you've ever shifted your birthday. Maybe it fell on a particular day and maybe it was work day. Some people have said, I'll celebrate it on weekend. So I think Christians generally have a problem with the day. Not necessarily because they have a problem with the Valentine, even though few people know the story. But I think they have a problem with the activities generally that surround that day. So for me personally, what I do is I maximize the publicity of the day. You can, there's no talk we can talk on this panel, Mr. Liu, that can change that Valentine Day from being grand.
What are you telling your Christians?
I tell them this same story we have talked, but at the same time we use it to learn about love, relationship, just like how because of this Valentine, we are having a topic today about love and relationship.
It's also a day to a marriage counseling and...
Good, yes. So we meet, it could be singles, it could be couples. You know, I did a very powerful hangout.
It also takes them away from
those things. Yes, I did a very powerful hangout. We ate, we drank, we sat down, we talked, we discussed problems, and I think if the church has this approach to it, it keeps them from a lot of things.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's take the first reaction from Mr. Asanji Yvette from Ambe.
Happy belated Vows Day, Mr. Leo. Happy belated Vows Day to everyone on board and to our televiewers. Mr. Leo, if we want to talk about the aspect of celebrating Valentine's Day, if it's promoting love or it's promoting sin, I will first of all say it depends on your point of view about Valentine's Day, and equally it depends on the kind of celebration you engage or you indulge in. Now, when we talk about Valentine's Day, we have a lot of stories as what Valentine's Day is, you know, but what I personally know and what I believe in is that of Saint Valentine, who was a Roman priest 269 AD, something like that. He was a Roman priest and he believed in blessing marriages. But there was a Roman emperor by then, Claudius II, who believed that if people are getting married when they want to go to the war front, you know, they will be emotional. They will not want to fight wholeheartedly. They will be thinking of their families and stuff. So he decided that at that period in time, marriages were not permitted. So that when warriors go or soldiers go to the war front, they will be able to fight wholeheartedly, knowing that they have nothing behind to come back for. So with his selfish ambition or with his selfish aim, the Roman priest Saint Valentine believed in marriages and so chose to go ahead to bless marriages against his opinion. So after everything, to cut the long story short, he was imprisoned for that and he died on 14 February. That is the story I know, and that's the story I think I believe in. And I personally tell people. So he was a Roman priest, he was a Christian, and he died blessing marriages. Marriage is the first ministry after God created the world. The first thing God instituted as ministry, even before the church was coming into play, it was marriage. It wasn't the church. So marriage is after God's heart, and if somebody should stand up for what is right, stand up to bless marriages, then I don't see how it's a sin there. But it becomes a sin because we have youthful exuberant activities. Youth have become too excited and they have taken Valentine's Day as their thing, whereas it's not the singles things. That's why I personally told singles to stay off Valentine's Day.
Okay, she says she's asked singles to stay off Valentine's Day. Singles, they also have relationship. Maybe some of them might have, yeah. Hey, Mr. Leo, when is this crisis going to stop? Danny Form is writing from Amanda. Danny Form is interested in the Anglophone crisis. God, we shall have to pray to God that God will reveal it to the apostles who are in the house. They'll tell us next edition. Greetings to the panelists, Mr. Leo. This is Mr. Alfred writing from Amanda. Why is there no female in the panel? Mr. Asanji just spoke now. Saint Valentine was a Roman Catholic priest that fought from the value of Christian marriage and relationship during the Roman Empire, and for this reason, he was killed by the Roman king for this purpose. Thank you very much. I just hope that you listen to Miss Asanji. She spoke at least. Valentine's Day by Reverend Father Augustine Chukwu Ebuka Nadi, a priest of the Catholic Diocese of Ekulobia. It's very long. I can't read that. It's a whole chapter of a book. Reverend Tatoh, we're talking about Valentine's Day. You lived here, you live in Douala. What did you observe yesterday? And what did your Christians do?
Personally, I'm not pro-Valentine.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, and I hold nothing against those who celebrate or who esteem Valentine's Day. Mm-hmm. I think people who advocate against Valentine, their problem is not the priest who began it. The root of the people, in fact, they trace their antagonism, they trace their opposition to Valentine's Day to what happened before the death of this priest Valentine. They say this day was a pagan feast. It was a pagan feast that was organized in the Roman Empire. And it was in honor of the Roman goddess of fertility called Aphrodite, also known as the mother of Eros, mother of sexual love. That is actually the basis for which some people reject it. I'm not saying that is the basis for which I reject it. Mm-hmm. The basis for which some churches or some people who are spiritually learned, they reject it based on the fact that this was a pagan feast, and that on this day, if you are not careful, the activities you get indulged in may trigger sexual desires, may trigger lustful desires in you, which can end up being detrimental to you. That is their stake. You know, on that day they say people used to come and write their names, like males and females gather somewhere, write their names.
In Rome?
You know, yeah, in Rome. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, just like a ballot, mm-hmm. You pick the name of every man you pick, you have sex with that man. You pick the name of every woman you pick, you have sex with that woman. So that is actually the basis on which these people are against the Valentine Day.
That was the beginning, but it was later changed. That was pagan. That was the pagan practice that a pope came and said, "This is not glorifying God to God. Let us change." Mm.
Now, you see, they are averse to it because they say it is the foundation. Mm. That is the foundation. So, what I'm saying is this. For me, I want to side with what Apostle Lefor said. The kind of activities you organize on that day is going to be, you know, determine the mood. It's going to determine the importance, the value of that day. You know, value is not inherent. Value is always accorded. Mm-hmm. If you value it and, you know, celebrate in a way that people can, you know, receive more value to relationships, it is more helpful. Mm-hmm. For instance, what he did in Boya is laudable. You bring people together, you talk about love issues, you discuss relationships, have some time to have fun in the company of one another. It is laudable. The only challenge we have is when people begin to, you know, trade off spiritual and moral values for Valentine celebrations or pleasures that are not called for. Talking about fornication, like Apostle Ambe said, and adultery. Mm-hmm. When you get involved in such activities on that day, that's where we have a problem. Mm-hmm. But if on that day you organize, let's say as a church, you organize a hangout for your couples, people sit together, discuss on things, it wouldn't be an issue. And I also want to really appreciate what Madam Asanji said, yes, that singles should stay out of Valentine. When you say singles should stay out, it's not to say that people who are maybe affianced, those who are in a relationship, should not at least, you know, have some time to also discuss on that day. But they must remember that marriage is marriage and singlehood is singlehood. But it should not be a day where people go into some excesses because of...
So are you saying that Valentine's Day is for the married?
It's for the married. It's for the married. Let singles know to what extent they can get involved. They can get involved.
Saint Valentine, was he married?
Sorry?
Saint Valentine, was he married?
He could never be married. So the fact that it started with him and he bears his name is very inconsequential. And the fact that it's very inconsequential, because even if he did not die in prison, there's nothing that would have ever happened that he will ever get married. So
Valentine was not married. Why do you pin this thing on married couple?
We are being contextual.
Christians.
We are being contextual because
you say so pagans should hands off this thing.
Pagans, when we are discussing issues that have spiritual or moral bearing, it's very difficult to talk about pagans because they have a lifestyle, which it is their lifestyle.
So
their lifestyle is anti-spiritual.
Should they not celebrate Valentine's Day? Pagans.
You cannot force them.
Force them to.
I mean, you cannot force them to do what we're
doing. They have their way. They have a system.
This thing or not?
Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is not a Christian feast.
So why are you saying?
That's what this is what I was saying, Mr. Leo. No, you didn't. You surely did not get me well. I'm saying that it's the same like.
Is it a church feast?
Let's take for instance. No, it's not. It's not a church feast.
In your program, your church program.
It is not. This is what I'm saying. Let's say we have
forbidding pagans from doing their thing.
No, okay. Let me ask the question here. We have these ghost towns in Bamenda. Is it a Christian originated something? No. But if a church decides that on ghost town days we're going to do evangelism, is it a bad thing?
Okay.
It isn't.
Let me take
so we are saying that we can exploit a situation that has a negative bearing for positive ends.
That's very correct.
Yeah.
Good evening, sir. I'm Kuna Joel, contributing from Boya. I'm honored to write to you as concerns Valentine's Day. In all honesty, Valentine's Day has absolutely nothing to do with casual sex. Celebrating on Valentine's Day is not bad, but how it is celebrated matters a lot, okay? Greetings, Mr. Leo. This question goes to the panel. Is it relevant to post your partner on Valentine's Day? Eta is writing from Atlanta. The United States of America. I'm sure you don't post your wife, there will be a problem. You don't love me, you're afraid that those guys will see. Yes, it's true now. There are problems. You can. Not everything the whites create we must do as Africans, okay? We are going to come to that, the Western implication. Yes. Good evening, dear panelists. I believe people should live a life of love. They should live a Valentine's lifestyle, show love to their loved ones every day, and not wait for the 14th of February to show her a one-day love and wait till the next 14th. Christ is love. Godwill is writing from Bonaberry. Good evening to you, Godwill. This one says, good evening, Mr. Liu. Greetings to everyone in the studio. It's Valentine's Day also regarded to our parents or only attributed to erotic love. Apostle Ambe, please answer. Dominique Kimal is writing from Yaoundé, alias Watos, okay? Yes. Good evening, Mr. Kum. Valentine's Day, I had to have a beautiful day with my wife turned out to be a sad day for me. My wife returned home and asked why I have not wished her happy Val's Day, and that can I swear I have not wished others. Those are the problems now. I asked her if she wished me, and I and I never answered. My worry is must Valentine pleasantries only be from the man? From the man, yes. Mr. Kesha is writing from Bamenda. Yes, Apostle Ambe, you have many persons who are not talking to you because
you see, that has nothing to do with Valentine's Day.
Yeah, but there are many problems as we speak because of what Mr. Kejang is expressing from Bamenda.
Of course.
Yes.
If Valentine's Day brings problem, it has to do with the maturity of the couple. It has to do with the day. They cannot manage the day. It's a very serious problem. They should be matured enough to know what to do on a day like that. The day should not be given a bad image because of some people's weaknesses and errors.
Yes, that's actually the major.
Because on that same day, you also find testimonies of people who had never, had intimacy. They got intimate that day. So it has to do with the individuals in question. We cannot be painting a day black because of an individual attitude. That one has to do with Mr. Kijang and his wife.
No, there are many persons who have written to me in the same light here that the wives are angry that the whole day, why did you not wish me happy Valentine? And they're asking the wife that they were also expecting, they waited, that I want to see whether my wife really loves me.
It has to do with ego. It has to do with ego. The individuals in questions are just egoistic and they are full of pride. Because any conscious lover on a day like that, you shouldn't be too. I'm sure the message should be having the traffic jam on how it to enter your phone, on how to even say it in the morning. That should be the first thing. If you are a love conscious person in the morning, you are telling your husband, even in bed, or your wife.
It depends what you've been doing in other years.
That's what I'm saying. That
you believe
But somebody just asked that question, that it should be something that happens every day.
No, Mr. Ali, I want to come to that. Okay. I want to come to that. I was also answer the question.
Love doctor is itchy too.
Yes. I was supposed to answer that question and come to that.
Go on.
When we give particular days significance, it's not because that thing is not done daily. It's a sign of honor, a sign of recognition. We have World AIDS Day. People are sick of AIDS every day, but we have World AIDS Day. We have Women's Day. People are celebrating their wives and their mothers every day. But that honor attached to that particular day that it is for women gives them a sense of recognition and a placement in the society. That is why that day was carved out. I was in love with my wife since the year started for 14 February. That 14 February is just giving significance to a particular day so that people can be conscious. As a matter of fact, there are even persons who are not even conscious about love until events like that come up. You will discover some people receive their first gift from their husband or their wife because of this day. So such days are always good because we have World Teachers Day, we have World AIDS Day, we have World Environmental Day, we have World. These days are supposed to be given in order to attach significance and respect and a certain level of honor to those particular persons in that area and in that field of operation. So let us not just roll out the fact that we have to be in love every day. We're not in love every day. People are in love every day. There's HIV every day. There are women every day.
I was saying that maybe the previous years they had not been saying anything, and this particular year they want to say Happy Valentine's Day, and this one is waiting and waiting. Because if they queried last year, they would have corrected it this year. But it's like they were passive.
But the question is, should it be an issue for the men to make the move? What stops the women from also doing this?
Nobody has said that it has to do with the gender. That gender has nothing, it has to do with maturity. Just like if you stop talking to me, if I talk to you, it's a sign of maturity. It's not because you are better than me. If you offend me and I forgive you, it's maturity. If you choose that, if two of us are not talking, if I move to Apostle Esingei, it's a sign of maturity. So two babies are in the same house. If the man did not wish and the woman was telling the man to wish, then the man did not wish, it's a sign that both of them are immature. It's the truth.
I think personally, this challenge, I think Apostle Ambe has really removed something from my mouth, which I wanted to really say here. Because sometimes we focus on a day and forget that we are the ones who make the day what it is. Personally, I did not send a message to my wife. I'm talking about personally. But that does not mean that that's the law or that's the rule. But I did some other gestures that showed. I had an event, we went out and all other things. When we came back, there were other gestures. So my point is this: she will not get up. I think like that event, like if you see most of these things that happens like that on such days, there are often other things that are tied to this attitude. It's usually an attitude problem, not just an event problem.
Not just an event.
Yes, it's something that must have come all over the years. Maybe supposed to not even the plan. I go see whether on this day
whether I'm important for you.
Yes. You see, it's like, and then sometimes the man also is waiting and then something comes out and blows up. Just like how
everybody is calculating the order.
Yes, just like how few people will also text you to tell you that this day was good for me. Sometimes we must be able to, while we help people, understand also that many other people have also used this day for good. And then lastly, I also want to say this: we should truly, I've always said that if we are even doing it, just like how there's wedding day, you can renew your vows every year to celebrate marriage or celebrate every other thing, event, like we do birthdays. I think birthday is not something that you're celebrating just because every day you're changing, you are growing older. But I think that particular day you are keeping is just to mark a milestone. I think it's not a bad thing when such a day is set aside to do this, but learn also to understand your partner, and the other partner should also know that don't accord too much attachment to something when something also has already been, like something has been done, like you said that if they don't give me moto, or another can't give, because sometimes they also come and say hope deferred makes the heart sick. Okay. So it's having a kind of hope
but I want us to establish something. Somebody is asking whether Valentine's Day is meant only for people who are into erotic love, asking the place of the parents, mothers, children. They have no place in Valentine's Day love?
Let me come in. In the actual sense, if we have to define what's Valentine's Day, in the context of Valentine's Day, it has to do with erotic love between two opposite sexes.
It has to do with the heart.
The heart. Yes. But now, bringing father, mother, and sisters inside, it could be like they are also conscious of the fact that it's a lover's day and they should not be left aside. You may show love to your wife on that day without showing your mother. It causes problem. You may show love to your wife because they are aware, but they are not educated. Being aware is not being educated. They are aware that it is Valentine's Day and that day is Lover's Day, but they are not educated that love is for two opposite sex. It's an erotic love that a husband expresses to the wife and vice versa. But now everybody knows it is Lover's Day. Lover's Day in what sense? In what context do we define the Lover's Day? Because a mother will not sit in a house and she knows today is Valentine's Day, which is Lover's Day, and then she finds the son, buys the wife a good Josh material, then she is sitting there. She will ask her, my pikin, that love one I saw, na love so. Now love only for man and woman. I know you love me too. Eh? You understand?
Let me see.
That jealousy.
Not finish.
That jealousy be there.
So,
yes, so they can be aware that there is a Lover's Day, but they are not educated on what kind of love is supposed to be expressed. So we now open it to everybody, so that you can be able to solve some psychological and physical problems in the house. That's just the truth.
Okay. Let me take some.
So don't limit it only to your husband and your wife.
Greetings, Mr. Liu and the entire crew. Well, to me, love is a universal thing, and it's a privilege for love to be given a particular day to be celebrated because it is significant and it should come from both ends. The problem is not that day, but the activities we indulge in to characterize that day. Queen Kara writing from Boya. Good evening, everyone in the studio. As for me, Valentine's Day should not be celebrated because my husband nearly divorced me because he bought two gifts and he gave me only one. When I was trying to ask about when he went with the other, it led us but into a serious problem. Nadesh is writing from Yaoundé. How did you know he bought two gifts, Nadesh? Good evening to you guys in the studio. Should singles celebrate Valentine? It's bizarro. Someone said that singles should stay off. It's you, Reverend. It's not a day for the singles. Yes. I think the origin of the day should forbid Christians from celebrating. The origin of anything has a spirit, and I think the spirit behind the day is erotic love, and this explains why it's characterized by too much sexual immorality. My opinion. Jurune writing from Bingo. Yes, are you saying that men of God don't make love, which is erotic? They make love now, so should they not also celebrate the love? Greetings to the panel in Tiabi from Limbe. I think love is not only a body-based relationship as most people think. I think all of you in the studio right now have a love relationship which is not necessarily body-based, and it is that love that is beyond body-based that is expressed here. The unfortunate situation here is that most people haven't yet given themselves in for love to flow in their life energy. Okay? Oops. Sally from Mutengene says that, good evening, Mr. Liu and the panel. Valentine's Day is linked to love, and the greatest thing we need in the world is love. So we need to take the advantage to promote love in a positive way, because even the Bible says love is the greatest. 1 Corinthians 13:13. Sally is writing from Mutengene. Good evening, panelists. Valentine's Day is fastly losing its value in the hands of youth, singles, and some overzealous persons. Countless problems have emanated as we speak due to poor management of some persons' weaknesses on that day. Mr. Ewane is writing from St. Francis in Kumba. Good evening, Mr. Kum and all in the studio. Please, singles can still find and appreciate love initially on Valentine's Day, so I advise them to be part and not stay away from Valentine's Day celebration practice. Then they say makes perfect. Again, love is celebrated on daily basis and not kept for a particular day. I'm Levinette, writing from Bamenda. Paddy Brown, the best teller in Bamenda, says, Mr. Kum, can this Valentine's Day be abolished in Cameroon? Because this day causes more pain every year. Paddy Brown, good evening to you. Tiku Felix says that, good evening. The truth is God will judge us all one day. Those who do evil and those who try to manipulate the church by bringing in evil alike. Must the church do love feast only on this day and call it Valentine? Remember, the wisdom of man is foolishness unto God. Mr. Leo, God is love and should be celebrated as love. Anything love should portray God. Who is Valentine to be celebrated with love tag? It's true. It's true that evil will always show up in the midst of good, but when good tries to mingle with evil with the pretext that it portrays love, then I'm sorry. At least Christmas portrays Christian, but do pagans or non-Christians do their own thing, also tagging the birth of Christ. But Valentine, we know also he can't be celebrated as love. God is love. Churches and men of God pretentiously join the pagans as a means of advert for crowd pulling and give funny excuses. Well, God remains God. Tiku Felix writing from Boya. Now, Apostle Esingei, we're talking about this day, the celebration. Some persons think that it is a day that requires that you give a gift to your girlfriend or your wife, and vice versa. It's also a day where you have to celebrate your wife or the girlfriend. Some persons think that you have celebrated their birthday in a year, and within that same year, you still need to do this. Is this not also very demanding, especially for those who think that something has to be done?
How can it be demanding to give somebody something twice a year? You say you celebrate birthday and then this thing. Shoes and dresses, that's greediness now. Everything, and they are not ready to dash it out. Bags hanging, they have handbags everywhere on the wall. They have sandals shoes, the shoes that their grandmother died and left it for their mother, and then they inherited the mother, and then, you know, it's packed there. They are not ready to give it to anybody, you know, and then they are still expecting that on the Valentine's Day, something should be given to them. Okay, take for example, like my
birthday
wife.
also.
I and my wife we're getting to 17 years in marriage, and by the grace of God, we have never shared a Valentine's gift. That's not a joke. We have never shared a Valentine's. That have we gotten up and told ourselves that Happy Valentine's. We have never. She's evolved from glory to glory, and from these years. You know, sometimes, because like I was putting that thing that I was checking people, while I was saying that there's a time in marriage where the heart leaves the original position and begin to beat somewhere around the neck because of the pressure that is there. So that is exactly what is happening there. So I am like looking at this thing right now. I was really wanted to even attend Apostle Ambe's program that he had during that period, but on the other hand, I got so many other things that tied me down, so I didn't go there, because this is a time to share other things. Yeah. This is a time to share love and to do other things. Okay, the purpose was Valentine's Day, but I also use that purpose to tell the world that I am proud of my wife, so that if you are eyeing me or I am eyeing you, you should also know that I have
this is the situation on ground.
I am married. Officially, I am married, and I've not been married for 2 days. I've been married for many years, and I'm still ready to stay again for the many years as God will give us life. That is how it should be. because we should accept that a lot of people hide their wives during those days. And you'll see people are saying that they did not post me on that day. This one said they did not post, this one said they did not post, this one did not post, because I did not even go to check my wife's Facebook whether she posted me that day. It was not even my problem, because that was not our goal. But my goal is to tell the world that I am proud of my wife. I'm just like, I'm putting that, that's also what they call a defense mechanism, to also defend yourself from some pressures that are coming out there, that you don't go. Hiding your wife is also exposing yourself to the public. I'm telling people that you are single, or telling people that you don't appreciate who you have. So at any time, anybody can come in. That is exactly what is happening out there. But I will still say this. Valentine's Day must not be used only for that erotic love. It should be able to call the love for prisoners, love for orphans, love for all these things. I think that is what the Catholic Church practice, which is a very wonderful thing. During that time, they go about showing love to prisoners, showing love to a lot of people. They're trying to express this love to
even Valentine was a prisoner now.
You understand? So that kind of thing. So this thing is scattered, is sent abroad. And I want to call us to consciousness in Cameroon. Please, let's use this time to share love in our hearts. There's a lot of hate, there's a lot of hurts, there's a lot of pain flowing through our hearts during these periods. Let's use this kind of periods to lubricate faith, hope, believing that things will be better for us tomorrow. That's what keeps us going. I heard some people say in some areas they did not have an opportunity to celebrate this particular period. But I want to say that you can stop them from coming out not to celebrate, but in their hearts and in their homes, they were saying something about it, or they were celebrating something about it. Meaning that somehow, some way, people will always, man is born free, but everywhere in chains. But while in chains, they still express their freedom somehow.
It's a day of lovers.
Yes.
Severally, we've agreed here on this platform that most African men are polygamous. You agree now? How do you do with this? You have multiple Valentines everywhere. Is it really
It's
Valentine?
in the gene. It's in the gene. It's a blood something.
Yes, but the problem is, how do you manage this, man of God?
How do who manage it?
You know, even know
I want to understand who is managing what.
This thing you just directed to the right person. Let him answer you. How do you manage it?
Yes,
Tell us.
you have multiple Valentines. It's a time bomb. It's a source of really problems.
Yes.
How do you manage this?
The thing is, people who are
maybe Apostle Ambe will have to add.
Yes, people who are polygamous. I think if you sign polygamy, you will have to give gift to every wife. I think the polygamous families, you will have to, and it has to be in a way that it's not biased. Like, you will cause more problem to your home, because these are some of the challenges of polygamy. Because if one thinks that their gift, maybe you go and buy pants for $350 for one, and then you go and buy new TV set for another one, you might discover that you have fight in the house that evening. I think for the polygamous homes, you will have to do that. Each person, that's the cross you carry. I think it's very common with the Bamileke case. The wives know that at least an average Bamileke woman is knowing that the man might have 3 wives or so, because most of them have always like many children. And so they always, like, somebody wants 11, 12 children. So the woman knows that I cannot give me 12 children to you. Find the person who will born the remaining 4 or the remaining 5 and all of those things. So in that case, then some of the challenges we also have on this day is because of shared attention. You will discover.
That's what I'm asking.
Yes,
because they need your presence now. You need to celebrate with them.
Yes.
How do you do
There
it?
is the shared. It's the same. The question that I ask is, how were you doing before the 14th?
Oh, 14 is one day.
No, but it does. If your lie has caught up with you, it will caught up on the 14th now. If you had been playing, that's why some people either they will go to work on that day. Some people, yes, now they will be very busy with work that day. Some people will have network problem that day. Some people will have to travel that day. Some people have always been traveling every 14th. Or you go around the 12th or the 10th and all of those kind of things. Some people will. Now, some of us that are public figures, there is just that's why some of us, even the events, all of those we create, is because you discover that even that day is taken away from us. My wife has to understand that I share it with helping other people. Like he said, I think it's a way also that there's a way we help others on such a day. And I think when now you start putting yourself in that kind of position and somebody demands your attention, you will be forced to do the lie that you have been doing all across the year and everything. But at the end of the day, you will discover that sometimes they must travel and go and be with maybe the one they want to be with at that point in time, or all of those things. Or the ones who are married, some of the side chicks know that the person is married. Some know. So they send a gift that they hold on to till when they will meet again. So it's a complex world. Polygamy should know the responsibility they have when you're having many people. It's I think.
But is it still Valentine? Is it still Valentine?
You know, Valentine's Day also you have to have sex with your wife. So if you are a polygamous person,
really?
How do you really share?
That's what I'm saying.
That's part of the distribution.
Okay. So I did not know.
Even though Apostle Alfred will help us.
Okay.
When it comes to polygamy, it's very delicate.
Yeah.
There are gifts in the market that are uniform, like they can only change in color. Just go and buy the same gift,
They set
with different color
to avoid problems.
and bring it to the people.
Yes.
The challenge could still be that all of them can love one color.
Then you buy
For
10
real.
colors.
Of the same
For real,
gift.
for real. Yeah.
Of the same gift.
Yeah.
And now all of them that are, you don't know women, no. This creature called woman.
Yes.
is
I
something
like that
else.
blue
And
one.
you can
That
still
blue
buy
one
the
fine
same
pass my
color,
red.
and they will say, why do you not give my own
Different
first?
color, yes. So
You
that
would have
is
given
the
my
issue.
own first and then give the other one after.
So, to me, to the best of my understanding, it's good to deal with polygamous cases differently. Don't do it in the presence of the both of them.
Yeah.
Meet the first one and say, I gave you this on Valentine. The other one in private, I gave you this. Nobody knows what was given to the other partner, but everybody is convinced that at least something was given to them on Valentine's Day. That's what I think. Bible says, dwell with women according to wisdom, not according to anointing. Some people are trying to pray women into attitudes. Bible says, dwell according to knowledge. So you must use your brain. Somebody was asked, why is that men lie a lot to women? He said, because women cannot handle the truth. Women can handle truth. So sometimes it's just to lie them to keep the situation at bay.
Okay. Good evening, Mr. Liu, and all wish to say parents should educate their children on what Valentine's Day is all about. It's not a licensed day for sin or say free devilish acts. Everyone should be aware that Valentine's Day, just like other days of celebration, should not be taken from a wrong angle. To me, I don't see it as anything in my life for love is practiced daily. As a matter of fact, let preachers in churches stop encouraging the celebration of this day, for there is high probability for sin to be at the center, even in church. To me, any pastor or church that gives a lot of attention to this needs to be schooled again. Summarily, those who know their God shall serve him in fear and tremble. Okay?
Mr. Leo, I want to intervene there. Please,
okay.
Just give me a little time. Please, whether we emphasize Valentine's Day in church or not, sinners are sinners. There are people that will make love morning, afternoon, evening without any preaching. It's their body mechanism. That's the first thing. Secondly, some people came and said because they have con prophecy failed, many people will not go to church. A lot of things have happened which are worse than the prophecy, and people have not stopped going to church because salvation of souls is not based on somebody's attitude.
Okay.
If some of us were to depend on the attitudes of others who come to church, we never come to church.
Okay.
So that is God's work. We shouldn't be using our human energy to turn. What is Valentine's Day?
Greetings, Mr. Liu. Please, I wish to know the meaning of Valentine's Day and how can it be expressed. Thanks. How is Valentine's Day biblical? It's not biblical.
It's not.
Yes, it's not biblical. I'm not sure.
It is not.
For the explanation, he can watch the replay of this
Okay.
program.
Good evening. Panelists, love is classified. Promoting love in the world has nothing to do with Christians. The Bible makes us to know that let us not love the things of the world. So as a Christian, we don't need to celebrate Valentine's Day. Pastor Johnson is writing from Batoke, that is in Limbe, yes, Faku Division. Let's take the second intervention of Mr. Asanji Yvette.
So seriously speaking, few days or a week to Valentine's Day, I have personally been telling the youths their sex is not a Valentine's gift, your virginity is not a Valentine's gift, because a lot of people lose their virginity on a day like this. So I personally took it as I took it upon myself to to educate our singles. I said, please, you people should know that this Valentine's Day thing is not your thing. It's for those who are married. Saint Valentine was not blessing the fiancé or boyfriend, girlfriend. He was out for marriage. So even if those engaged or those in courtship want to celebrate it, it's not a problem as long as they are cautious about it, as long as they have boundaries. So I have personally educated the singles not to engage or indulge in sexual activities in the name of Valentine's Day. So if you want to look at it from that perspective, I know that we are in the 21st century where our youth have gone really wayward. Yes. And from if they should engage in celebrating Valentine's Day, which after everything we'll try our best to educate them, but they still have the last option to do what is right. If it's from their perspective now, you cannot tell me that yes, we cannot say it's a sin, because they engage in sexual activities which are not good. But if we are talking about marriage itself, we are promoting love. And I want to say that, Mr. Leo, if you look at the number of people that have get involved into celebrating Valentine's Day this year, you see that it has really increased. When I started the issue of Valentine's Day celebration, even a lot of my followers didn't believe it. But as time went on, they got to get involved in it and they're celebrating. Now, one thing that is making me happy is that a lot of couples tried, at least they spent time together. This is what we are talking about. Marriage, one of the things that makes marriages work is you must spend quality time together. And so couples had, they created time to spend quality time together, which personally made me happy as a marriage counselor. My aim is to see that people are building successful marriages, people are succeeding in marriages. So if I'm looking at it from this dimension, I will tell you that we are promoting love, because we are not saying that you should celebrate just Valentine's Day and then leave the rest of the other days. Absolutely not. But just the fact that there were some people that are always preoccupied, but they could create time for their spouse yesterday, I think it was something that was applaudable.
Many problems actually arise because either the husband or the wife refuses to fails to celebrate the other on that particular day. Many persons are busy. Valentine's Day this year fell on a Monday, and we know that many persons are so very busy, for the men and the women. Can we defer its celebration and tell the girlfriend or whosoever that since we are all busy, can we move it away from this day? We can celebrate our Valentine's Day next Sunday when we both are free. I'll take you to Kribi and a host of others. But as Africans, this is also something Western, man of God. Can we not celebrate it differently?
The issue is, for me, this aspect, like some of the people who are very radical about it, that from a church perspective, it should be avoided. I really beg to differ a little, because when the church begins to chicken out on some of these things, how do you now create a counter-attack in order to, overcome darkness with light? The church has the light effect it's supposed to have on the world. Personally, as I've said, like Apostle Esingei said, I'm not a pro, an advocate of Valentine's Day. Like yesterday, I didn't tell my wife Happy Valentine's Day, and my wife didn't tell me. She is even out of town. So we can't say because we don't treasure it, or because we didn't organize anything, we will demonize those who organized. No, that's not the right mindset. We should get to a point where if people could bring out value out of the day, we applaud it. And it's the same thing. We won't be saying that people should avoid celebrating Christmas. Like personally in our church, we don't do Christmas service. We don't do it. But I won't demonize those who do Christmas service in their church. But what you are bringing forth as value, the value addition to people's lives and people's couple life is what is important here. It's not as to staying away. There are people who will stay away, refrain from doing it, and on that day they do worse things than the celebration. So what we are saying here is that avoid comparison. On that day, a woman should not compare that my husband's friend offered her a car, so you should offer me a car. Those are some of the things that place pressure on men who, and at the end of it all, the couple life is rather, weakened. The bond between the couples is weakened. Avoid excesses. There are people who just want to, get into substance abuse on that day, and at the end of it all, they come home so tipsy, they come home so drunk, and they won't behave the right way they were supposed to behave. On that day, avoid having some wild expectations, you see. And another thing some people do on that day is that because I bought him a pair of shoes for 50,000, he should also buy me something that is equivalent in value. Those are the kind of things that we want to avoid to discourage people from, getting involved in on Valentine's Day.
Remember, and I think that people usually postpone their birthdays to the other days where they can celebrate it better. Sometimes they used to shift that of the wife and that of the husband for the same days, that of the children. They used to do it together. So if you think that Valentine's Day is precious to you people, you can push it to a later date where both of you can share that. Very wonderful. I think
I like that point that you said. If you think, if that couple, any couple that values it, can create the value they want.
Yes, exactly. I was coming to it that it begins by first of all having what is the essence of that day. What value do we want to recreate that day to the couple or to their family? Yes, it begins from there, because if you just say, okay, we want to shift it to Sunday, and on that Sunday there is really nothing to show forth for that. This is why, this is the rationale for which we shifted, we were celebrating this day. It still does not make any sense. So the essence is, what are we really wanting? What is our objective? This year, maybe you just have to have some time to discuss and say, okay, this has not been happening well in our couple life. This and this is good. We make some amends. Those are things that we expect on that day. We don't expect that people should share gifts, and at the end of the day, in the evening, they are at 6s and 7s, they are quarreling, and so gifts is just one part of it. Issues that should really get to reinforce the marital bond is what is important here.
Okay. Good evening to the people in the platform. Please, I wish to ask if it is possible for someone to give a gift to the girlfriend while staying in the mother's house and not paying the bills of that house, but rather pay bills of the girlfriend house. Jean is writing from Equatorial Guinea. That is, you are living with your mother. You're not paying bills here, but you're paying the bills for your girlfriend. Yes, okay. Good evening, Mr. Liu. I do everything for myself, wash my dresses, okay? Good evening, Mr. Liu and the panelists. Valentine's Day should be a mourning day for the married, because the death of Saint Valentine was caused by his love for the woman he loved. I am Mo Mbanga, writing from Yaoundé, morning day. Greetings to you, Mr. Liu, to all the panel. I wish to say before particular even is set aside, maybe because something happens in the particular time or day. I don't know. Who is this Valentine? He showed love in all he was doing, at everything he touched. The poor, the sick, the prisoners, the prostitutes, and every aspect of life. Okay, most especially he taught us all how to show love to one another. Remember, he never got married. Thanks. Miles from Burman. That remember Saint Valentine was out for married couples, and that was his focal points. What are you saying? Therefore, he was never married. Mr. Liu, this question still pending. Is it relevant to post your partner on Valentine's Day after giving her a good treat and you fail to post? She removed my picture from her status. I start tripping. Was that really necessary? Eta is writing from Atlanta in the United States.
Brother, if after giving your wife a very good treat, you forgot or probably did not post her, and she removed your picture from her status in annoyance that you did not post her on Facebook, you are on a time bomb ticking. That's a very bad attitude for a woman you want to spend the rest of your life with or you are living with. She's immature, one. She has a bad attitude. She has no value for what you offer her. And she can, for one mistake, cancel all your goodness, which is very dangerous. The error which we have in our days is that we amplify the errors of men while we demean their goodnesses. The treat you gave to him is more than, to her, I beg your pardon, is more than the post on Facebook. If you did not post her on Facebook after giving her a treat, and she removes your picture of my status as a sign of annoyance, that one is a display of an attitude that needs to be focused and treated. If at all both of you are not yet married, you have to deal with it before you settle with her. It's a very bad attitude. A woman should not be focused only on the disadvantage and the weakness of a man. She should also appreciate the strength. I can believe that she did not even acknowledge the treat you gave her, but she was quick to find the error that you committed. That is very sarcastic on her part.
Okay. Very bad there. Please.
You cannot also conclude that very bad.
I wanted to say something about
There are many things. People also interpret things differently. She knows that is how they usually do this thing. This boy used to post my pictures on this kind of things, and this. But today, what happened? People used to people react sometimes.
Let us not promote. See,
we are not promoting.
There are things we will discuss on this platform that will burn houses. We are here to mend homes.
Why is he complaining?
Listen,
Because
a man, Reverend Tatoh, you cannot take a woman and give her a treat, and then a singular act of not posting her post, probably by neglect or ignorance or something you forgot. Then she capitalizes on that and she's making hell out of it. I can't take it. Let's forget that. What you guys considering?
Also, the thing is that
What are you guys considering?
we should also understand these women's feeling. Women have
What are
the
you
way
guys
they feel.
considering there?
A woman can
I mean,
never
this
see the
is
way
so
a man
real.
is.
What are we
Yeah, but
considering
you
there?
said did you post your wife yesterday?
Yes.
Did he post you?
I don't know whether she posted.
You don't even know if you post.
Okay. Did you post your wife yesterday? Please. Did you post Madam yesterday?
No.
Did you post Madam yesterday?
I didn't post my wife.
I didn't. No.
No.
Okay.
All of us here.
Please.
All of us here.
One
No,
second.
I posted my Madam.
Yes, please,
But
please.
4 of us did not post.
Please,
So-
1 second. No. Okay, the only thing I wanted to say, what Apostle Ambe said is very true, because you cannot capitalize on something that people have done. But I just wanted to say that they might be, let that couple as well be careful, because a woman, her reaction might not be the best, but it can also be signaling that to her, that man was because women like that, they interpret something.
Boys pretend they love
Yes,
her.
that for her, you have done this in the background,
Yes.
but you don't want
For
to really
filming.
show me
Yes, it's
the real
public,
thing.
you are hiding.
If I am the real person,
Good.
post me. I'm just saying that's how this woman might have thought. So I understand. No, Apostle,
landing.
I already landed
Was
now.
that the first and the only post?
Apostle, they will not give you this one.
Exactly.
We will not- we will not give you this
Exactly.
one.
That's the thing that we should be
It's the
saying.
truth.
That's why. If you
Women
are
are
something like that,
sensitive.
no, Apostle. If you are something like that, I would have not said what you're
That is
saying.
the issue.
Good. If this man had been posting, then that woman is demonic. I get it. Yes, no, I appreciate it. But at the same time, I'm just saying that yes, because if that man had been posting and then that day the man does not post, then that woman has serious issues.
What are you talking?
But if that that was sometimes some of these things that happen on a day can be a reflection of things that have been happening. Maybe before today, the woman had caught the man with some kind of things. All of this. I'm just saying that if they have not had previous issues, then that woman needs issues.
You
But
don't
if
know
they have
these
had
boys.
but let's look
They
at
can
it.
take you somewhere and give you a treat, but they know what they have given to the other side.
That's why I've said
so
that.
they don't want to post it so that they can provoke the other
But we
person.
cannot make
So it's
posting
happening like that.
the foundation of the relationship.
So how do we make
the
removal of picture on the Facebook as a problem?
It is a reaction.
It was a reaction.
It was very bad.
Are you saying that
It's a reaction.
if tomorrow
It's a reaction.
if tomorrow my classmate Malaika takes off your pictures from her Facebook page, is normal?
I don't even know whether my pictures are there.
No, excuse, there is
I don't know. I'm telling you,
it cannot be. Excuse me.
Yes.
It is also going to be very dangerous for us drawing lines on such things, because at times people send messages like that without giving us the full picture.
Yes.
There could be mitigating circumstances as well as aggravating circumstances that surround this particular happening, which this man has not sent.
That's what I was trying to point out.
It is a bit delicate.
Okay,
Let's
move on. Let's move on. Yes. Success, writing from Krebi, says, good evening, Mr. Liu. Good topic, Mr. Liu. I, for one, am not lucky enough. For 3 years now, my husband is always out stationed. So we will be celebrating our own Valentine's Day on Sunday. So I don't see why it should cause any problem. Daisy, writing from Kumba, says, good evening. Stop calling, please. Stop the calls. It's disturbing.
This creature called women.
No, they're a blessing. They're a blessing. Good evening, Mr. Liu, and to all the amazing panelists. I don't really see Valentine's Day promoting love, but it does promote discord and sin. Many who celebrate that day, a boyfriend or girlfriend. Valentine's Day should be an everyday thing amongst married couples. In any case, it's good to show some special love to your loved one on that day. Daisy is writing from Kumba. Okay. Oops, this one says, this is Kaya Eugene Doe. Please, apart from this program, I wish to ask for permission to have a program at my media prime this week. Okay. Fang Youth Association, can you call me after the program? I was once. Can you just call me after the program? What you're saying is not related to what we are discussing. Good evening to you all, great men in the house. Please, I wish to ask, what about a woman who has been with a man and has been faithful to him, but he in return has never made the woman feel special in all special days, talk less of Valentine's Day, always leaves the woman home and goes out in the name of work? I don't know, who spoke last? Who has to speak? Is you? Okay, yes, this case. That is, you hardly have time for the lady, and she thinks that the only day that you should also show some sign of seriousness is on this day. But on this day, she's still kept in the cold.
I would really want to discourage such a woman from having a particularity on that day. That is a marriage that needs to be fixed. Because even if the man shows her attention on Valentine's Day or the special days as she calls it, how many of them are really those days out of 365? So it is a marriage that has to be fixed before talking about showing her attention here on these particular days. The issue is that, one, that's why when you're getting married to people, life goals are always a part of the consideration you have to make. If this man's job takes the person far away, you make sure you are preparing your mind that there are some times you're going to really be for a while without the man. One. Two, men also should do the best they can to avoid being away from home because of work. They should make sure they are a husband and a father who is not an absentee, indeed. So I think looking at the lady's preoccupation, all of these things have to do with a lot of factors put together. Is the man's job demanding that he's always supposed to be away from home, or is that the man is a runaway husband? If that the man is a runaway husband, that is now a case where the man needs to be talked to, the man needs to be counseled, the man needs to. But from her own angle, if she also dramatizes, it can scare the man further. That's why such a thing you need to do is to see how you can be more accommodative to the man and make the home more accommodative. Because some people say this, of which they are the ones scaring their husbands away. You are nagging, he comes home and you quarreled, he comes home and he doesn't have an enabler and a conducive atmosphere. He finds himself going away. At times some people will leave work and they decide to drink until they come when it is bedtime.
Good evening, Mr. Liu. Not everybody is a fan of social media. That lady should grow up and understand her man well. Madam Ngwa Henrietta Fort England. We're waiting for you. You've been away for some time. Yes, join us next week, I pray. Good evening, Mr. Liu. I love your program. Valentine's Day is for lovers. Like, why not just to the married people? Because as for me, my mom is my first love, even if she's no more. Ako Aka Ventilator. Writing from Equatorial.
Are you married?
Yes. Good evening. Good evening, Mr. Leo. Many people misinterpret this day, but who is Valentine? Saint Valentine is the name of a priest in Italy about 2070 AD who sacrificed his life because of the love he had for youths. He defied the orders of Emperor Claudius, who ordered that there should be no more wedding marriage ceremonies among youth, as such hindered the growth of his army. Okay, Dushem Kingsley writing from Amanda, I'm sure we have explained the origin of that already. Ashu Felix says, good evening, Mr. Leo. People get involved in premarital sex more on Christmas Day than Valentine's Day. Yes. So should we stop celebrating Christmas days too? Felix writing from Boya. Good evening to you, Felix. Are we Kebem? Okay. This one says, good evening, Mr. Leo. Marrying more than one wife is suicide. Okay. Yes, polygamist. Take note. Hello, bonsoir. Je suis malien. J'aime le programme. Okay. Good evening to you, Malian televiewer watching the program. Good evening, Mr. Kum and all in the studio. Bride Alo Bwede writing from Yaoundé. The truth about Valentine's Day is a bit mysterious. Valentine was with one of the most popular theories, being he was a priest who officiated the weddings of soldiers during the 3rd century AD. During this time, Roman Emperor Claudius. Okay, the best way to celebrate Valentine is to remember the love of God. The Bible says, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. It is a time of giving. Valentine reminds us of the gifts of God to mankind and true love of God in our hearts, that we have to also love the ways of God. Okay, Mr. Liu, I'm a victim of this Valentine's Day saga. Can you imagine that I have not seen my wife since she left the house yesterday? Only God knows where she can be now. I am still thinking.
I have told this young boy.
I'm still thinking.
Make time to satisfy a woman that she will not be running from you.
I'm still thinking of what to do when she finally comes back.
Satisfy a woman.
Jackson is writing from Bafia. Okay. Beautiful. Good evening to you all.
That means you are not
at the studio.
Not at all.
Please, I'm sharing my own observations regarding Valentine's Day. Valentine died for love. Romeo also died for love. Jack in Titanic died for love. Samson in the Bible died for love. Greek heroes, Hercules and Achilles died for love. Even Jesus Christ died for love. Please, where are the women? Don't buy any woman a Valentine's Day gift until she gives you at least 5 names of women who died for love, because no woman would die for love. This is my own observation as far as Valentine's Day is concerned. My best regards, Ashu Atem, writing from Limbe, Cameroon. Thank you very much, Ashu. Mr. Liu, my wife does not want me to touch her.
We need to take this thing.
No, I don't touch it.
Please. Does that mean? Please. Does that mean that she is seeing another man? Turning from is writing from Bamenda. Good evening. Good evening, Mr. Liu. Love was born in John 3:16. Love was born on Christmas Day, not 14th February. Alan.
And there's a lot of sin on Valentine's Day. It's as if we are talking that there's no sin.
on normal days.
Church choir.
As we are talking now, the sin is going on.
Now like this, there's sin going on somewhere.
As I'm talking to now like this, somebody is becoming pregnant for another woman. So when we try to look some certain day as if it's that day that sin came to the earth, it's an error. Sin is a day-to-day affair. Satan is on a 24-hour mission to make sure he defies humanity. He is not powerfully working on Valentine's Day, or he doesn't get stronger on Christmas Day. He is a man that has a standby strategy. Abortions are going on right now. Lesbianism is going on right now. Fornication is going on. Adultery is going on right now. So when we try to coin it on a day, we are trying to make as if the devil is stronger on a day than another day.
People
it's
see
an
more
error.
on Saturday evenings and Sunday
On
evenings.
Sundays.
Yes, more.
That's the truth. So when we try to coin days as if there's a better sin on a Monday than on a Tuesday, it's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. Now, for those people also who take out journeys or vacations during the period of Valentine's Day, Valentine is a time to spend with your lover. It's not a time to vacate from your lover. So if I thought a woman is packing out of her house on Valentine's Day, it means a man is not a Valentine. You must be a John. She's going to see a Valentine somewhere. Because you definitely have to spend time with your Valentine on that day. Yes. I had promised my wife was to go out with her yesterday, out in the evening yesterday, but I paid some huge amount of money. Someone told her that this money I've paid like this, it has drained me. I don't think we're going to go out. She understood me. That was my number, and I didn't post her on Facebook. She didn't post me. And we are just okay with it. It has to do with our maturity.
Yeah.
Why should a post on television, on Facebook, on social media determine my love for you? It's like when you stay in the house, you are feeding, you are caring for her, and then one day you get up in the morning, you didn't say, you did not tell her that I love you. She said, I know you don't love me. Upon all what you have done for the years, she gathers all your love in one day and put it on one post on social media. That is gross immaturity. That's something I want to address.
That's immaturity.
You cannot assemble my love for finding my brother and put it on a post. How you reduce me so now? You reduce me
To a status.
to a
That lasts for 24 hours.
You reduce me to a Facebook status, a post that I don't know because I didn't say your post on Facebook. That's an error. You should be able to calculate the number of years we have spent together and the investment I've done in your life to know if I love you or not. That's what you must understand. So those of you who are turning away from your husband or from your wife, then I'm very, very convinced that the person you're having there, no, your Valentine is your John.
Okay.
It could be your Martin. Your Valentine is somewhere else.
Okay, special good evening to you, His Royal Majesty in Jimbong Samuel, who is watching us from Womb, capital city of Menchum Division. I just wish to say I also love you. He's my father, watching us from Womb. Yes, you have something to add?
Yes, I wanted to add to what the Apostle is saying. It's very, very, very true. But we also need to know in relationships what makes people tick. Yes. If, you know, it becomes a problem when somebody begins to dramatize on an inconsequential issue. But if I finally know that my wife really likes that I should be posting her a lot and it costs me nothing to post her, I will post her so that she feels good.
But you may forget her.
Yeah, no, I'm saying that now. You know, forgetfulness is a one-off thing.
It's a low forget.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, it's a one-off thing.
That's human nature now.
No, what I'm saying,
Don't forget on those days.
no,
When you are on browsing and you are seeing everybody posting things.
That I'm just from giving you a seat on that day.
You may just be caught up that your child is.
It's not caught up, Mr. Leo.
Something. There are many
Giving
things
you
that
that
come up,
seat
yes.
alone swallows my conscience even thinking of Facebook. You understand? The way we spend time together, I shouldn't be thinking of going on social media anymore. The man say, "Oh, just on."
But were they not together? They were together now.
No. The issue is that it's not good. We also just neglect this other part. It is to say that besides being mature, let's also be sensitive to what makes people tick within a relationship.
Okay.
If posting her will make her happy, try to
but
remember.
Somebody
like me. I went to, this year. I went to Facebook and removed my birthday. I don't make something out of who wished me happy birthday or not. I'm not into it. I removed my birthday from Facebook. So even, in fact, except close people to me will know it. That is my birthday. So some of those things, if there are things that do not make somebody to tick, it's not. They don't really make. They don't make much
Okay,
news.
you prefer that it stays there. Okay, good evening, Mr. Liu. I think people should be properly educated on important values to be communicated on Valentine's Day. Personally, I think the diversion of opinions on the importance of the day is due to the cloudiness and darkness caused by evil at its peak manifested on this day. Without second opinion, when the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable. The youth have accurately calculated this day to fully express their lustful desires. This is disheartening. Notwithstanding proper education will curb the excesses. We thank God for God this year. In Bamenda, we had Ghost Town. Since it fell on Monday, at least the number of unwanted pregnancies from this day will reduce. A young Samuel from Bamenda, Mancho Streets. Okay? Good evening to all on board. I don't really believe on the so-called Valentine's Day, but when I was still struggling to get my wife, I always bought her a lot of stuff and also show her much love on this day just to make sure others don't do so. And she ends up not accepting my proposal. But after we got... I've had her to understand that love is shown every day and not on a single day. Jik is writing from Bamenda. Lots of messages from Bamenda today. Good evening, Mr. Liu. Is Diane writing from Kumba? We celebrate Father's Day. We celebrate Mother's Day. When are we celebrating Judgment Day? It's God to decide. Good evening, Mr. Liu. Valentine's Day celebration factor promoting love. Yes, I believe so. Valentine is a symbol on how special she is to you. This is celebrated by couples, but for those who are in boyfriend, celebrating it generates sin. Okay? If you're not married, you are sinning. Good evening, Mr. Liu and members of the panel. Thanks for the program. Valentine's Day is just another opportunity to showcase your love, and we should not take it for granted. Sheila is writing from Yaoundé. Yes, women love it. Good evening, Mr. Liu. Day in, day out, we hear about Valentine's Day, Father's Day, Children's Day, Mother's Day, Children's Day, etc. I just want us to rethink about Judgment Day. Fali, writing from Limbe. Wow, the second person talking about Judgment Day. I don't know what it is. Okay. Mr. Liu, accept my greetings from the studio just to tell you I love your program. It's James writing from Limbe. Good evening to you, James. Thank you very much. Sheila was writing from Kumba. Good evening to you, Sheila. This one says, according to the word of God, love is limited. Now, we're talking about this day. Must you present a gift to your wife? Must you take your wife out? Must you give a treat to your wife to actually show your love for her? Must you post her on social media?
Well, like we said before.
Not for the wife, and vice versa.
Yes, well, like we said before, because I don't practice that. And my wife had never practiced that even from the day we were married. We had never practiced those things. But as a teacher, as someone who deals with society, as a sociologist also, I think love goes alongside with giving. Love is giving. For God so loved the world that he gave. So this issue of love goes alongside with giving. Because if you say, Happy Father's Day, it's Lover's Day, and you know that normally people share gifts during those periods, it's really not a good thing. That's why I used to say that sometimes if you believe that your culture is doing a particular thing, and then when that period comes, you do something different, people begin to judge you differently. That's just what we have been arguing on. Because these guys, young boys, they have a lot of problems. When you know you have many other girls, and then they are preparing you. One in the Facebook now, you go there, they'll ask you that somebody they post you. That's a question that will be typing everywhere. They post you, and the reason they're asking that they post you is because that day they know that it's difficult to post your lover because many others will retaliate. That is exactly what happens on Facebook. So I think that this sharing, there's love in sharing. During this period, we share, we give to people and other things. Because to me, I've made my whole life to be a given life, to share with my wife, to share with my children. I go out, I see something that is nice, I bring back home, and I buy this, I buy that, I buy that. I don't think that there's a special day that you must go and buy something. But if that is the day that people have chosen, that is what you want to do, if you don't do it, there's going to be a problem. Like Mr.
Even when you don't have money?
How would you not have money? This thing is preparation now. 14th of February, you started preparing it since last year. So you cannot say that you don't have money today.
You may just have a serious issue by the 10th.
Serious issue that money from
yes, in that case, everybody, even the person around you will know.
Why did you not ask Apostle Ambeda how could he not have money when he said he has spent money?
In that case, the wife understood because the wife, he had to explain to the wife. And the wife understood. But that kind of a situation that you did not explain anything and you did not say anything and then they are not seeing anything, they will just assume that you have got. This girl also said, there's one lady that just said that the husband bought two gifts and gave her one and does not know where the other one went to. That kind of a thing.
Maybe to the mother.
You are saying maybe, but that is not a family thing. You know, when they say the husband, there's supposed to be one. If you decide you want to share those gifts, both of us should know that you are sending gift to mama, And if you did not tell us that you're sending gift to Mama, it means you're sending it somewhere illegal. If you cannot tell me where you're sending that gift to, it is illegal. Now, I want to also throw a light on this particular girl that left the house and go and stay somewhere. Yes.
She's not yet back.
She's not yet back. Look, there is something serious about these young boys. Many of them like to make mouth. You come and give a girl hope that you can do. When you come there, you cannot do anything.
Man of God.
And no. No. Okay, let me quote it now.
We have already been quoting it.
Yes, because truly, let me tell you, a lot of women are frustrated. They are really frustrated. Buy them 1,000 gifts during this period, but there is something she expects that she's not getting from you. Yes. And she believes that during this time she should be able to get it. Yeah, and she has an ex somewhere that used to give her enough. She will go there.
Man of God, are you saying this is a day where we must have sex?
But it's erotic now. This is you people say that it is among two people.
Who says so? It's you.
No, it's not me. We have spoken, yes. The erotic something, yes. Yes. And these young boys, you see, they will just be making mouth. And then when you will come there, just because you have bought gifts, well, the woman will accept you because you bought gifts. But she cannot deprive herself from that satisfaction to get from another place.
She wants to get it only that day.
Because a man does not give you that, she will go and cheat.
You must get it that day.
This thing has to do with psychology. When they have already put it in their mind, saying that for Christmas who would it broke.
So our brother from Bafia, that's what you are telling him.
How
that
many,
he has making mad.
How many
maybe our brother is a fireman.
Yes. How many young girls have given their virginity out but during this period? How many young girls have given their virginity out during Christmas?
There's a sin we are talking about.
Yes. They believe that it is during this time you show love to the one you love. So if people believe that it is during this time where people can get sampling, and then she knows that you are 2 minutes man, then you are waiting for her doing that, you are wasting her time. She will go and waste time. She said, after if you come back, you don't want her again, no problem.
Man of God, what is sampling?
You are looking for trouble now. So
good evening to you all, Mr. Kum. Valentine's Day is for those who love God. I am God, Alfred in John G. Diboncha. Okay. Good evening to you. Good evening, Mr. Leo. I think Valentine is meant for married people, but you see boyfriend and girlfriend talking about Val's Day, which is wrong. It's Roland writing from Moliko in Boya. Hello, Mr. Leo. Your program is superb. I can't just miss a minute of it. My regards to all in the studio. Thank you very much. Good evening, Mr. Leo, and all in the studio. What if your wife hurts you badly the day before the Valentine's Day and never calls you for reconciliation till the Valentine's Day? What could one do in this situation when you are still hot of what she did? Felix writing from Yaoundé, pray.
That should be the best for reconciliation.
Yes, give the gift.
Okay.
Reconcile.
Good evening, Mr. Kum. Any woman packing out of her marital home because of Valentine's Day, it means her marriage is based on Valentine's Day. Nadine is writing from Bomenda. Mr. Leo, appreciate the program. Please help me. My wife left the house wearing sandals and came in with different shoes. And came in with different shoes while putting them on, while the sandals were inside the bag. While I wanted to ask, boom, she provoked. How do I handle this? Jack John writing from Bomenda. Maybe she had money. She bought.
Because friends usually give those things during this.
Who is this Valentine, and why must I celebrate the love for my wife on another person's day? Greetings, Mr. Kum. The pictures behind you tells a story on how couples feel and react to their spouses on Valentine's Day. Mr. Ngwa is writing, and to all in the studio, if we are talking about Saint Valentine, let it be from our Bibles. John 3:16 tells us about love. It's Roderick writing from Bomenda. Good evening to all of you there in the studio. Valentine's Day is for married couple and not for little boys and girls who go about playing with the body that is supposed to be the temple of God. Greetings to you all. I'm really enjoying the program. It's Annie writing from Manfe. This one reads Oops, quite long. Mr. Liu, I think people should be properly educated on the importance and values to be communicated on Valentine's Day, okay? Good evening, sir. I love your program. My salute to Mr. Ngwa. Santine Ngwa, writing from Bamenda. Vanessa, writing from Bamenda, says, hi, Mr. Liu, your program is great. Thank you very much. Good evening. To panelists on board, Valentine's Day or Lovers' Day values to people in different ways. There is erotic love, and on Valentine's Day, those who practice erotism celebrate. There is conjugal, and there is also agape love, which Jesus recommended for Christians. Therefore, if you celebrate based on erotism, conjugal, or agape love, it is not good that you do it for evil motives. I'm Charles Simon, writing from Fundong. Let's take the third intervention of Mrs. Asanji Yvette from Bamenda.
So, in conclusion on this topic, Valentine's Day is promoting love. I mean, couples that have never even gone out, there are people that are married, they have never been out on a date. But it has, created time for people to go out on a date. It has created time for people to wear something uniform. You see the t-shirts people print love on and all of that. At least it comes and spice marriage, even if it's not forever, it's for a while. But as much as I still tell people, let every day of your marriage be a lover's day. Don't concentrate only on that one day. But then we thank God for the one day that came and then even brought some people to their homes. So couples should do everything to celebrate their love. Love is something that is a seed. When you plant it, you need to keep watering it. You need to keep watering it. You need to keep nurturing it for it to grow. And how do you do that? This is one of them. You spend quality time with your spouse. You give them gifts. You are there for them. All of those things come to do what? It comes to spice marriages. What makes marriage work is not something that is very big or something from somewhere. It's a combination of all of these little things put together that makes marriages work. So, celebrating Valentine's Day to a greater extent has promoted love. It has brought out, at least, it has helped some people understand that they can even learn to give gifts to their spouses. There are people that have never received gifts from their spouse. But if anyone is my follower, they will tell you that I do encourage, even women. I tell ladies, take your husbands out. It's not about just the woman or the man taking you out. At least you must have been saving something. Even if it's 100 francs each a day. Have something in your pocket, take your husband out. When you do what you can do, he gets motivated, and before you know it, he might even do more. So if you know that as a wife you like doing, maybe you like hanging out or going out on a date, which is something I do encourage, then you must also consider not only waiting on your husband to take you out as a lady, you should consider, making efforts, telling your spouse, babe, this weekend we are going out on a date. It's very important. I'm taking care of it, so don't bother. Because men want to tell you, hey, house rent, children's school fees, and stuff like that. I say sometimes keep all of this aside and work on your marriage. So marriage needs work, and so we're celebrating love, and it's wonderful.
Okay, we are moving towards the end of this edition of the program. Everybody is talking about gifts for the persons we love. Prime also loves many persons, but working under the canopy of an organization that I'm leading called the Peace House. I am a peace ambassador, a peace advocate. So there is an association that I lead called the Peace House. I made a pledge, I made an appeal for persons to assist, to also assist me to show love, especially to those with whom we are doing this program every Tuesday, because the program is focused on love. And this lady, Anita Eno Takan, decided to assist me so that I can also share love with those who are in our studio. That is why this evening I will share love. Please, don't be jealous, those of you watching. This one goes to Apostle Ambe, Valentine, Ngwa. This is the Peace House gift for you as we celebrate love. This one.
Wow.
Yes. This one goes to Pastor Esingei. Yes, Alfred Esingei. Yes, I think. Let me
That's how you will text your own.
this one goes to Reverend Tatoh.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Thanks.
And Apostle Lefor, Divine. Yes. This one is for the Peace House.
Okay, thank you.
Exceptionally, the thought of somebody who is always assisting me in most of the things I do. His name is Kista Kulu. He's a student, a pastor. He's here in the studio. I invited him because he had a gift from me. Yes. He's a special friend and a brother to me. Mr. Kulu, can we have? Yes, so this is from the Peace House on this special occasion. Mr. Asanji Yvette, I have yours. I don't know how I'll send it to you in Bomenda. This one is for you. Mr. Asanji, this one is for you. I will look for ways to send it to you in Bomenda. So this is our way for also appreciating what you guys are doing to mend families, to fix homes, and to say that we love you, we love what you are doing. Thank you all for always coming. But then, those of you who are at home, I don't know, I love you, I can only tell you that I love you. Yes, and that you should show love to everybody. That's the only command I got.
Let them begin to send their gifts. They should not only laugh with us, they should send their gifts too.
Okay, so this program.
Thank you very much, Mr. Leo. It's a wonderful thing. I appreciate the gifts. It shows that our efforts are not downlooked upon. And I want to thank you very much for always being there for us.
Okay, also to you, Apostle Ambe, Valentine, Ngwa. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Leo. Thank you, Peace House, especially for this offer. It might be small, but it's very significant.
Yes.
That is what we want to say here. It is not the size of a gift that is important. It's a significant